this search for today, it is meant to disrupt me. I'm not listening what the National Commissioner is saying there throughout the day. I'm not there to take notes. I'm not concentrating. I've been served with a notice to appear before a disciplinary hearing. I'm also preparing documentation for Madlanga. As you can see, the whole exercise is just meant to confuse me and to keep me under pressure.
Sibiya did confirm that police confiscated several devices, including laptops and cell phones, from his home. He says he believes that his life is now in danger.
I'm under siege, yes, and my life is in danger and that of my family. There are cars coming up and down here with false registration numbers. And now the media is here and my place is being exposed. But the bottom line is that I just want to say, now the gadget has been taken as well. And then when I am preparing myself to participate like all others who participated before me.
While still looking visibly shaken, Sibiya says he believes that he soon expects to be arrested and charged, as this investigation is aimed at ousting him from the SAPS.
I'm waiting also myself to have my day at the commission, at Madlanga Commission. Ultimately, I will be charged. I expect to be pushed out. Is what is this whole thing all about. Remember, I've been through the eye of a needle. All of them are from KZN, of course, and that is unfortunate that this is how one province decides to behave the way it behaves, and the whole country is allowing this thing to happen, to carry on the way it's carrying on.
His attorney, Ian Levitt, says the search and seizure warrant presented to them by the police indicated that they are investigating Sibiya on a number of charges, including money laundering, corruption, and defeating the ends of justice, amongst others.
Effectively what they did was they gave us the search and seizure warrant. There's about 4, 5 or 6 pages there, but it's essentially with regard to investigations into alleged that defeats of justice and things that have been in the media. There's nothing new.
Money laundering, corruption, all those charges, everything they could find.
On Monday next week, Sibiya is expected to appear before Parliament's ad hoc committee. Sasha Naidu, Johannesburg.
Es-tu préoccupé par quelque chose? Es-tu passionné par les questions qui comptent? As-tu une voix qui mérite d'être entendue? Eh bien, nous avons la plateforme parfaite pour toi. Téléphone-nous ou fais-nous un WhatsApp au +27 66 408 87 42 et nous te rappellerons. Sois dans la conversation.
Salut Channel Africa, ici Beno le diamant rouge aka Binal Sport depuis le Cameroun, le pays des lions. Voilà.
Sois dans la conversation. Il ne s'agit pas seulement de parler, mais c'est ta chance d'exprimer ton point de vue, de partager tes opinions et de t'engager avec une communauté qui valorise ton avis. Suivez-nous sur les réseaux sociaux, visitez notre site www.channelafrica.co.za et préparez-vous à partager vos points de vue sur Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, 12 to 1 p.m. Central African Time.
It is 19 after 12 Central African Time, and we're coming to you live from Johannesburg in South Africa. And today on hashtag Africa Update Us, we focus on South Africa's Bafana taking on Zimbabwe before facing Rwanda next week, and Nigeria's Super Eagles taking on Lesotho tonight in the World Cup qualifier. Now, our question to you today is, which country are you supporting, and what words of encouragement do you have for your team? Send us your thoughts and your views on all our social media platforms. That's on X, Instagram at Channel Africa 1, on Facebook at Channel Africa. You can also send us your comments and voice notes to +2763 at 406 9126. Hashtag Africa Update Us.
Africa Update on Channel Africa.
Tanzania's High Commissioner to South Africa, Ambassador James Bwana, has paid a moving tribute to the late South African ambassador to France, Nathi Mthethwa, who passed away in France on September the 30th. Speaking to Channel Africa at Mthethwa's memorial service at the Department of International Relations and Cooperation's headquarters in Pretoria, the capital of South Africa, Ambassador Bwana expressed deep sorrow and solidarity with the South African people people and government. He described Mthethwa as a dedicated public servant, a former ANC youth leader, trade unionist and a diplomat whose legacy will continue to inspire. Channel Africa's reporter Michael Mbewe spoke to Buwana.
We have received the news of his passing in great shock, and the people of Tanzania and the people of South Africa, including us, the diplomatic community, we are grieving with the family and we are grieving with the government of South Africa to mourn this great loss of this son of South Africa. We will remember him for a great deal. We have been following up his historical background. He had a lot to do with his country as a young African National Congress youth leader, and his contribution as a workers' union leaders to the political levels, and finally in his last journey of life as the representative of the people of South Africa in the Republic of France. He has done his service, and we are here to cherish his legacy and good life as a fallen diplomat. And we allow me to use this opportunity to say condolences to His Excellency the President of the Republic of South Africa, the Foreign Minister, the family, and all bereaved friends, and everyone who is mourning with us this morning.
And also, just adding to that, Ambassador, this also affirms the fraternal relations that these two nations enjoy in different areas of bilaterals, be it in trade, politics, and so on. These have been, brothers and sisters for a very, very long time, historically, during the struggle.
Yes, indeed. Tanzania and South Africa enjoys historical relations of fraternity. And for many years, all diplomats who have been coming from Tanzania and those from South Africa going to Tanzania, we have maintained and promoted the friendly relations. And now we are escalating these friendly relations to more bilateral economic ties in order to make sure that whatever we have as friendship is also translated into economic engagement for mutual benefit of our people. So when we meet in a moment like today, we express our condolences as brothers, as a second family of these great people, and we are happy that the good relations that have existed so far have continued to be maintained and promoted at all levels of engagement, from the bottom level to the highest level, where our two national leaders have been visiting each other and engaging several times on numbers of issues in order to promote and escalate further our relations to further hate. So we are brothers, we are family, we stand a long history together of being together, and we are joining hands with the South Africans to mourn the death of this fallen brother from the diplomatic community angle.
And lastly, before I let you go, Ambassador, of course, South Africa is now chairing, the G20 this year. We are just, few meters away, if I may say, to the, summit of leadership. Just your message of support to what it means when we look at the South Africa G20 theme of solidarity, equality, and of course, sustainability.
Thank you so much. As we have said since the beginning of the journey of South Africa in the presidency of G20, Tanzania was lagging behind South Africa, and so as other African countries, and we are happy that South Africa has represented very well the voice of the South, the voice of the African countries, in order to promote issues of common benefit in terms of redefinition of the financial infrastructure and architecture, and so on and so forth. So we are happy that South Africa, getting this opportunity for the first time as an African entity, has promoted very well the interest of the continent, and we couldn't be better than what we have seen South Africa doing for the continent. And we are praying that whatever legacy that South Africa is leaving in its presidency in the G20 will be promoted by the other countries will assume the leadership, the US and others, in order to make sure that G20 becomes a meaningful tool for everyone in the South, in the North, and it brings meaningful impact and touches life of everyone here in the world. We thank South Africa for standing firm, standing tall, and making us all very proud.
That was Tanzania's High Commissioner to South Africa, Ambassador James Buwana, speaking to our reporter, Michael Mbewe.
Africa Update on Channel Africa.
It is 25 after 12 Central African time, and we're coming to you live from Johannesburg in South Africa. Let's go to the National Police Commissioner General Fani Masemola, resuming his testimony today before Parliament's ad hoc committee. Let's take a listen to what is unfolding today.
And well, the call for assistance from the political killing task team to come and assist Gauteng at that time was solely based on the fact that we wanted the expertise of the political killing task team. As we have seen in Fort Hare, where we think we have a problem, I enlist them. When in KwaZulu-Natal we had a problem of killing of traditional leaders, then we also enlist their assistance. So even there in Gauteng, we wanted their skill. It was during the process of investigation when they start uncovering these matters, uncovering that there is some members, some police in Gauteng that seems to be compromised, and they uncovered all the rest. And that's when then we registered this project of Gauteng counterintelligence to investigate the whole thing. So that is the investigation that's in the process. The arrest of Khumalo, I wouldn't want to venture much into discussing an arrest. All I know is that he was arrested for employing him and the team. They were arrested for employing somebody from BMW to a post in crime intelligence. The person, I think, was earning 1.1 million and employed in crime intelligence, where he will be earning 1.2 million. And the process, according to me, was fair, and I did get a report from IDEC after the arrest. I tasked somebody to internally investigate that matter for discipline purpose. The report came to me to say there is no case based on what they find. The process looks legit, and I did clear them. I did inform them that we don't find a misconduct in this thing.
Thank you, General. Thank you, Chair. I'm sure I'm still left with some minutes, but I'm done.
Thank you so much, Honorable Ngola. The time I allocate you, honorable members, when you feel that you have spoken for some time, you look at me and check if the microphone is not indicating red. Once you see it indicating red, it's a warning to you that you must move towards winding up without putting you under pressure. Just to say to you, your time is about to expire. Okay, thank you so much. Most of the time, my microphone is off. Can we please move to, is it you, Honorable Nomvalo? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair. How are you, National Commissioner? How are you doing?
Through you, Honorable Chair, I'm fine, Honorable Nomvalo.
I'm okay too. Well, I want you to enlighten us more in relation to the allegations made by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, which you have also put here as terms of reference in your statement in page 4, on page 4 of your statement. There is an allegation under paragraph 4.1.7, which says that inter alia, we must investigate open code.
PMD offers comprehensive car insurance.
And that was the South African Parliament's ad hoc committee, and before it is South Africa's National Police Commissioner General Fani Masimula, who is continuing with his testimony. And as you just heard there, somebody asking, one of the parliamentarians or the committee members asking if he was doing okay. So a lot coming out of this briefing with the South Africa's National Police Commissioner General Fani Masimula, and we will keep you informed on that front. It is 12:30 Central African Time, and our news headlines up next with Jolani Tulongwepe.
Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802. SABC News. Headlines. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Lulu. Good afternoon. Making headlines, South Africa's National Police Commissioner Fani Masimula has not given a clear response to a question on whether suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu should be arrested or not. South Sudan's President Salva Kiir has removed the country's military chief and reinstated his predecessor, whom Kiir had sacked 3 months earlier. And finally, 2 people have been killed following a 7.4 magnitude earthquake in the southern Philippines. I will have details on these and other stories at 1 o'clock.
SABC News. Headlines. The African Perspective. Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
We kick off with football news. Bafana have safely arrived in Durban ahead of the Crunch 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier against Zimbabwe this evening, and Saudi-based striker Mohamed Kota says the team is in desperate need of goals to reclaim the top spot in the group. Bafana entered the last 2 World Cup qualifiers against Zimbabwe and Rwanda desperate for points and goals. They are second in Group C behind Benin, tied on 14 points and trailing only on goal difference. The reason why Nkota is prioritizing goals.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. That's all we want. We want to go to USA. We've been talking about it since we played our first games. We want to go to the World Cup. So I think for us, the one thing that we have to do, we have to collect the must 3 points, the must 6 points. So we need to work hard. We need to make sure we score more goals. And I think that's going to help us to go to the World Cup.
Bafana will play their last 2 matches against Zimbabwe and Rwanda in South Africa, while Benin have 2 tough away fixtures against Nigeria and Rwanda. Captain Ronwin Williams says they will not rely on other teams to qualify.
It's in our hands, and I think that's the most important thing, that we're not going to look for favors or rely on other teams. We want to get the job done, and that's the mentality that we all have.
Morocco booked their place in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup Chile 2025 quarterfinals after a hard 42-1 victory over Korea Republic in Rancagua on Thursday night, thanks to goals from Yassir Zabiri and an early own goal. The win means the Atlas Cubs will face the USA in the quarterfinals on Sunday as they continue their impressive run in South America. Speaking after the match, forward Othmane Mama praised his team's resilience and called for continued focus. And Jenny van Dijk, the head coach of South Africa's netball team, says they want to conclude their series against Australia on a positive note. The Spar Proteas face the Diamonds of Australia in the third and the final match, with the hosts leading the series 2-0.
For us, for this final test match, it's very important to finish strong. Yes, we have lost the series, but for us, it's really about learning from our mistakes and giving a solid performance as we did at the end of the New Zealand series. So that's what we're definitely looking to do.
And finally, with tennis news, Aryna Sabalenka extended an unbeaten run at the Wuhan Open 20 matches with a 6-3, 6-3 victory over Elena Rybakina, keeping alive her quest for a 4th straight title and setting up a semi-final clash with Jessica Pegula. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figede Lungwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. Hi there. Do you want to elevate your business and give it a voice in South Africa and Africa as a whole? Well, in that case, let Channel Africa make this a possibility. Channel Africa is willing to advertise your business for as little as 30,000 rands or $1,719.18. To get access to these great rates, send all requests to mokoenata@SABC. That's MOKOENATA@SABC. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Business news on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Business news on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Annika Longi sur Channel Africa.
Comment est-ce que les militants et sympathisants du parti Les Transformateurs ont-ils réagi face à la condamnation de Succès Masra?
La condamnation de Succès Masra ne nous a pas surpris et les militants transformateurs ont été bouleversés et indignés étant donné que le verdict est un verdict lourd, illégal, injuste et donc face à la répression dans laquelle le peuple tchadien est confronté, les militants transformateurs se sont résignés de ne pouvoir pas sortir manifester. Et donc, c'est une situation totalement absurde pour un pays. Et aujourd'hui, nous célébrons le 11 août, fête de l'indépendance. On pensait que le verdict allait être plus ou moins clément, mais le verdict est sévère.
Annika Longi, tous les dimanches sur Mix Vibration.
Mabhizinesi osiyana-siyana mdziko la South Africa ayamba kukhoma msonkho wa 30% akamagulitsa katundu awo ku dziko la United States of America. Nepanotele ndikatswiri wa zachuma mu dziko la Malawi Dr. Bertha Chikadza. Boma la South Africa masiku apitawo linanena kuti ngati America akani kutsitsa msonkho bomalo lipeza misika ina. Mungatifotokozere kuti ndizotheka South Africa kupeza misika yomwe ingabweretse ndalama pafupifupi $15 billion zomwe imapezeka ku misika ya ku America.
Tinene kuti izizi zitha kuchitika koma sizingachitike mwa pompopompo chifukwa tikaonetsetsa izizi zokuti inali msika wa dziko la America noni msika wakukhazikika umene dziko la South Africa linali likuzolowera kale. Tsono kuti tingonena kuti dziko la South Africa lipezanso msika mwina mwasangasanga kuti lizitumiza katundu wake mwina zisizingachitike facho kuti tikunena papa $15 billion ndi ndalama zambiri ndithu.
Zochitika ndi Madaphiri lolemba mpaka lachisanu pa nthawi ya 7 koloko kufikira 8 koloko madzulo pa Channel Africa.
Business news on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
With your business news, good afternoon. I am Noluthando Buthelezi. South African Director General of the National Treasury, Duncan Pieterse, says that the country is on track to meet its two main fiscal targets this year, stabilizing its public debt and increasing the size of its primary budget surplus. The South African economy has struggled to curb rising public debt after more than a decade of runaway spending that outpaced revenue, but this year the fiscal picture looks much better, with Treasury data for the first 5 months of the 2025-2026 financial year showing revenue is up more than 10% and spending only about 4%. Pieterse says that spending has slowed in part because of the protracted approval of this year's main budget, which was held up for months by political wrangling between the two main coalition partners, the African National Congress and the Democratic Alliance. The South African Commercial Catering and Allied Workers Union in the KwaZulu-Natal province has highlighted the workers' poor and exploitative conditions. As part of its golden anniversary, the union has started to mobilize its members in order to fight against exploitation. SACAO Regional Secretary Matthews Ndlovu says that the workers have many challenges.
Our members are being paid on an hour, and companies have developed an attitude of reducing those hours, but also very terrible conditions that our members are still working under. Like when you go to, let me not mention companies, but to supermarkets, big supermarkets, will find cashiers standing whilst working. There are no shares provided for them to sit. Others are in relation to late trading, where there's no transport, a safe and reliable transport taking our members home. Those are some of the issues that we have observed and we are addressing as a union.
The Johannesburg Stock Exchange, the JSE, has announced that its CEO, Leila Fourie, will be retiring at the end of March next year. Fourie has been CEO since 2019 and has been praised for having led the JSE with strategic clarity and unwavering commitment to transformation. JSE Chairman Phuthuma Nhleko says that under Fourie's leadership, the stock exchange achieved a turnaround in earnings quality, successfully diversified its revenue profile, and modernized its core technology and regulatory frameworks. Valdine Reddy, the current Director of Capital Markets, will take over as CEO from April 2026, subject to regulatory approval. Asian stocks have fallen as escalating U.S.-China economic tensions and uncertainty about political developments in Japan sapped investor confidence, while commodities took a breather after their recent charge higher. MSCI's broadest index and Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan fluctuated between gains and losses and was last down 0.4% as the gains for the week evaporated after U.S. stocks ended the previous session with mild declines. Shares in Hong Kong were down by most of 1.8%, while the Australian market slid 0.1% against a backdrop of volatile commodity markets. The U.S. has purchased Argentine pesos, taking the next step in a controversial effort to calm a currency crisis hitting the South African country and its president. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced the purchase on social media while saying that the U.S. had finalized terms of a planned $20 billion financial rescue for the country. The announcement helped boost the company and Argentine debt on financial markets, but renewed debate in the U.S. where the decision to extend financial support to Argentina at a time of spending cuts home has drawn scrutiny. $1 in Nigeria, 1,472 naira. In Botswana, it's 13 pula 20. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 483. And in Zambia, it's 23 kwacha 24. The BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 real 35. Russia is 81 rubles 26. India, it's 88 rupees 80. China, it's 7 yuan 13. And South Africa, $1 is trading at 17 rands 16 cents. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 86 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,963 and platinum at $1,596 per ounce, while Brent crude oil is at $64 a barrel. For any business stories that you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628. Africa Update. Your daily dose of African insights. With Lulu Kabu on Channel Africa.
It is 12:44 Central African time, and we're coming to you live from Johannesburg in South Africa. Today on #Africa Update Ask, we focus on South Africa's Bafana Bafana taking on Zimbabwe before facing Rwanda next week, and Nigeria's Super Eagles taking on Lesotho tonight in the World Cup qualifier. Now, our question to you today is, which country are you supporting and what words of encouragement do you have for your team? Share your thoughts and your views on all our social media platforms. That's on X, Instagram at Channel Africa 1, on Facebook at Channel Africa. You can also send us your comments and voice notes to +2763 as 406 9126. Hashtag Africa Update Us.
Africa Update on Channel Africa.
We now go back to Parliament's ad hoc committee where South Africa's National Police Commissioner General Fani Masemola has resumed his testimony. Let's take a listen.
The minister was acting ultra virus in all the regarding all the instructions that he gave in that letter, because remember, the instruction was not only related to the disbandment of political killings. There were other 2 instructions, and in total there were 3. So the minister acted ultra virus. Is that your conclusion?
I did say that according to me, yes, he acted wrong on 2 matters: political disbandment of political killing task team and the matter of the stop filling of posts in the crime intelligence. The ports of entry, no, I don't think there's anything wrong there.
Yeah, because somewhere in your statement you have articulated the statutory and constitutional responsibility of the National Commissioner and those of the minister. The gist of the minister's responsibility is to formulate and implement policy. That is correct.
Honorable Chair, yes, to develop national policing policy.
So these matters were not related to that scope of framework. They were operational matters.
According to me, the 2, they were operational matters that were within my terrain of managing. I could, if you have a problem with the task team, you could have said, I have a problem, 1, 2, 3 with the task team. Then I would go and investigate, see how serious is that. If it's so much serious that I should disband the task team, then I will do it, or take out the members and bring other ones. Yes, that's what I would have done.
Okay, the last paragraph of that letter says, open quote, "My observation in this regard, as indicated above, is that further existence of this team is no longer required, nor is it adding any value to policing in South Africa." Now, I know that
with all life's chronic life.
And that is one of the Parliament's ad hoc committee members coming out from South Africa's Parliament, where South Africa's National Police Commissioner General Fani Masemola is answering questions from the committee members with regards to what has unfolded since July the 6th, when the Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, held a press briefing and pointing to corruption in the SAPS and in different institutions, including government. And this is now culminated in the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, as well as this ad hoc committee in Parliament getting testimony from Masemola as the National Police Commissioner of South Africa, and also him now responding to questions posed by the ad hoc committee members. It is 12:49 Central African time, and we're coming to you live from Johannesburg in South Africa.
Africa Update with Lulu Kabu on Channel Africa.
Now we go to a big story where we're looking at the South African national football team coach Hugo Broos acknowledging that a defeat against Zimbabwe can possibly affect their chances of qualifying for next year's FIFA World Cup in the Americas. Bafana will face their neighbours away at the Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban in the KwaZulu-Natal province on Friday. and also host Rwanda in Mbombela next week, Tuesday, in their last two World Cup qualifiers. South Africa are currently second in Group C, behind Benin with 14 points due to an inferior goal difference. Sfiso Ramara has more.
Bafana have an impressive record against the Brave Warriors of Zimbabwe. Out of 10 matches played, South Africa have won 6, with Zimbabwe emerging victorious on 2 occasions. Bafana will go into Friday's clash as favourites after getting 4 points in their last 2 matches. Zimbabwe lost to Benin and Rwanda in their last 2 outings. But Bruce says the stakes are just too high and his team cannot afford to underestimate the Warriors.
We did a very good job in the last 2 years, and by having good results, your status becomes bigger. That means that, and the captain said it already a few minutes ago, people are expecting more. So maybe 3-4 years ago, everybody was already happy that you could go to AFCON. When you go to AFCON now, people will not be happy anymore if we don't be in the semi-final. So the expectations are bigger.
Bruce says they received a warm welcome when the team touched down in Durban on Thursday and expects their supporters to fill the stadium.
People believe in us, and that makes us very happy. So I hope tomorrow that the same crowd, but multiplied by 1,000, that they will be in the stadium tomorrow, because we will need them. If they are there tomorrow and they make noise like they did the last 5-6 games we played here in South Africa on different stadiums, then it will help us enormously.
Unlike Bafana, the bulk of Zimbabwe's players ply their trade overseas. They have players playing in Denmark, Italy, England, France and Scotland. But Bafana captain Ronwen Williams says they have done their homework.
When you look at the Zim team, you can't only pinpoint one player. They've got players playing all over the world now, doing amazing. I mean, if you see the goal that Munetsi scored over the weekend, it gets you worried. So we don't solely focus on one player. We know his qualities. Obviously, we've played against him and we know what he's about. But for us is to focus on ourselves. We just focus and prepare ourselves, make sure that we are ready, we have a game plan, we have a strategy, and obviously we've analyzed them, so we know the strengths, the weaknesses, and obviously we know most of them as well. So it's going to be a good one.
In other Group C encounters, Lesotho will host Nigeria in Polokwane and Benin will be away to Rwanda in Kigali. All matches kick off at 6 p.m. I'm Sfiso Ramara in Durban.
Nigeria's football national team coach Eric Chelle says almost all nations in Group C stand a chance of qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup after 3 points were docked from Bafana. Nigeria, who are in third position on the Group C log, will face Lesotho in the World Cup qualifier encounter to be played at the Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane in the Limpopo province this evening. Michael Makungo has more.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria were almost sure to miss out on consecutive World Cup finals. But with South Africa being docked points, it now means that the third place West African nation is only 3 points behind Benin and Bafana, with 2 games remaining. Super Eagles coach Eric Chelle says qualification for World Cup remains open until the last game.
In the football, you can predict anything. And you need to respect everybody, anybody, because we have this as example. Everybody in this group was thought that South Africa go in the World Cup. They dropped 3 points, so now everybody can go to the World Cup. So this is the football. Everything can happen during a game because of the weather, because of the referee, because of anything.
Nigeria centre back William Ekong will captain the side that will face Lesotho. Ikong says the match is important for both sides.
It's important for us to go for all 3 points. We have to show Lesotho respect. They've done well in the group. They've picked up points against us also. So yeah, it's going to be an important game for both of us.
Meanwhile, Lesotho have only technically won one of their previous 8 games. Their 3-0 victory over Bafana Bafana being docked points for fielding Tebogo Mokoena, who was ineligible to play. A win against Nigeria will see Lesotho move up above them by 1 point in Group C. Lesotho head coach Leslie Notsi says they want to continue where they left off the last time when they held Nigeria 1-0 2 years ago.
We're expecting a tough match, playing one of the best teams in our continent. We are approaching this match knowing that it's not going to be easy, but the self-belief that we had before in our previous encounter, we believe we have an opportunity to continue with where we left in our last match.
Lesotho will play their last 2 home matches at the new Peter Mokaba Stadium by afternoon on Thursday. Only 2,500 tickets were sold. The match will start at 18 hours. Michael Makungo, SABC, Polokwane.
In this episode of Channel Africa Conversations, Peter talks to Dr. Thulisile Buddha, an academic, author, and an expert in indigenous knowledge systems. Join us for a compelling discussion on preserving African languages and traditions in the digital era. Dr. Thulisile unpacks the role of educators, explorers, and how technologies like AI can support cultural preservation, and challenges us to rethink how we honor African heritage. You can find the episode on YouTube, SABC Plus, and on our website, channelafrica.co.za. This episode is a must-listen for educators, creators, and change makers across the continent. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Africa Update with Lulu Kabu on Channel Africa.
It is 12:57 Central African Time, and we're coming to you live from Johannesburg in South Africa. Continue with us on our social media platforms. That's on X, Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube at Channel Africa 1. On Facebook at Channel Africa. You can also send us your comments and voice notes to +2763. That's 406-9126 #Africa Updates, and let us know which country you're in. And if you have any stories that you'd like us to highlight or to focus on, send us an email. It is newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or give us a call on +2711 714 4459. And it is that time of the day where we say happy Friday to the Upside team. It is Tebogo Mokoena. How are you today?
Hello, Lulu. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
Happy Friday.
Yeah.
So we've got a jam-packed show this afternoon. Our guests are coming in studio, and it's going to be a whole party this afternoon. We've got Ghanaian superstar by the name of Stone Boy, who will be joining us live in studio. He'll be our first guest this afternoon, and then we'll be getting into conversation with Chico as Chico and Focalistic take Amapiano to new heights with their latest album, and then we'll continue.
Sorry, which Chico?
Chico, which one?
Which one?
There are many Chicos.
There's Chico, which Chico?
The Chico, this one, on this one.
Okay.
And I'll tell you when we go on to the show.
Okay.
Live, Lulu. Thank you very much. Yes, but Chico will be joining us in studio with the collaboration with Focalistic, their latest album, and that's all coming up on the Upside. I'm flustered. Quite a few things happening today. It's going to be an amazing show. My goodness.
You're on this Friday vibe.
Yes.
And listen, it's going to be
fantastic.
It is going to be a jam on the Upside coming up at the top of the hour. That's Tebogo Mokoena and Matsiko Musito. Well, for myself and the Africa Update team, it's been a great Friday, a great week. Continue with us on our socials, and we will do this again on Monday. Have a great weekend. Thank you to our producer, Tracy Bumga, technical operator, Mondlim Dambo, and social media, Sfiso Hlope, and talent, Butelezi. Bye-bye.